Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I will open on this page. 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, last session we discussed about the methods. So methods is the very basic, I would say very important concepts in Java. So last session we discussed about the methods. We'll quickly revise the last session discussion and then we'll start today's session as well. Methods. So methods, I would say methods is used to perform the operations. It is used to perform the operations. So methods is used to perform the operations. In the methods, there are four things you need to remember. First one is the method syntax, and in the method syntax, we'll have the return type. Return type is mandatory. Second one is the method name. Method name is mandatory. Third one is the parameters. Parameters are the optional. Parameters are the optional. Like if the method have the return type, then the method should be return its value. And the last point you should remember, return statement should be the last line of the block, method block. Last line of the method block. And the methods are categorized into divided into two types. One is instance method, second one is the static methods. Instance methods are also called as object level methods. Static methods are also called as class level methods. Class level methods. Again, method is divided into two parts. First part is the method declaration or method signature. Second part is method definition, also called as method definition, method implementation, method block. So these the topics we discussed in the last session. So we should remember that another point I would say, in the real-time scenario, the methods deals with the objects only. I'm writing methods deals with objects only. Objects only. Last session we discussed the four scenarios. Four scenarios meaning, like wherever you go, these four scenarios you can, with the help of four scenarios you can observe. Like the first scenario is with parameters with arguments. The second scenario with parameter without argument. Third scenario without parameter with argument. Fourth scenario without a parameter without argument. Okay. I will open the Java document, and we'll see one by one. For example, docs. This is the packages we have. If I open the java.lang package, if I open this one, You can observe these are the classes. These are the classes and all. I am opening any class like for example, if I open the string class, if I open the string class, if I scroll down, if I scroll down, these are the constructors and these are the methods. These are the methods. So last session we discussed about the four scenarios. So the first one you can observe. So which scenario is belonging to this one? Last session we discussed the four scenarios. Uh, hmm. With written type. Hmm. Hmm. With the written type with the parameter scenario. This one. With the written type with the parameter. And if you can observe, written type is the char. Written type is the char. And if you observe this one, which scenario is like? Huh? Huh? With with this map huh? Ah, with the return type with the parameter. Hmm? Hmm? Code point that is the method name. Int index is the input. It is taking the input as the index value. Based on the index values, the method will take the index positions. Based on that, it will return the integer values. The method will return the integer values. The method it will return the integer value. Any method you can take in the any package. All methods are belonging to last session we discussed in the four scenarios. So any method will be belonging to the four scenarios only. That four scenarios only. Like if you take anything, you can observe this one, this method, get bytes. Which scenario is this method is belonging? Without return type with parameter, with parameters. And if you can observe this one, get chars. Get chars is with which scenario? Hmm. So any package you can take. The classes are available under the packages. Any method might be belonging to last session we discussed in the four scenarios. Any method might be like all the methods are belonging to at least any one of the four scenarios. Okay, any one of the four scenarios. Okay. In the real-time scenarios, in the real-time scenario, methods deals with the object only. Method deals with the object only. So how will you deal with the methods? For example, there one question will be there. Uh, exactly the question. One question will be there. Write the method to print the data. Print the to print the data available to print the data available in the student object. Student object. Student object. So this is the question. This is the question. In the real-time scenario, methods are deals with the objects only. Methods deals with the objects only. If you don't know like how to give the input to the method, then it is very hard to. So that's why in the real-time scenario, methods deals with the Methods deals with the objects only. Method deals with the object only. So this is the question actually. Write the method to print the data available in the student object. Student object. So this is the question. So how will you write the law program for this one? How will you write the program this one? Create the class with the students. ID name. Okay. ID name. Okay. Student name. Create one class. The class name is the student. From here to here, this is the scope of the class. Here you should take the string name string name and I would say ID, double salary. You can take not student, so you can take int id. Hmm. This is the student class. Okay, and then this is the student class. Hmm? You can take these two are the parameters for the student. String name and int id. These two are the student parameters, properties. These two are the properties. Now you can read the question one more time. Write the method. Write the method to print the data available in the student. Data available in the student. Data available in the student. So how will you write? Think and tell me 1 minute. Create object for class and then which method will you call? Think and tell me. 1 minute you can think and tell me. Any idea? Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Okay. So one way is to create the object for this class and take input parameter to the another method. Input another method. Like for example, will you create the object for the student class like this student s equal to new student like this, and this parameter we can pass as a void print data. Print data is the method. Here we should pass like this student s, and from here to here should be right like this. It should be right like this. Got the clarity? Like how to write? Got the clarity or not got it? I will show the programmatical as well, then you will get the clarity. Yeah, here I will take one file, that is the I will take the driver class. Okay, here I will take the student class. Student class. Here I will take the string name, and here I will take the int id. Int id. And here I am saying the question. My question actually write the method to print the data. So I want one method. That method is print method. So for that purpose, I am taking the void print data method. Okay. So this is the print data method, and what I am saying, write the method to print the data available in the student object. Student object. So I need to take the main method, and I want to create. I would like to create the object for this class. Control V, new. I would say equal to s student, and this student I will be pass here. I will be pass here, and here I will mention sysout statement. Sysout, and here I will be till now what I am doing. I have created two classes. One class is the student class. Second class is the driver class. I have created object to the student class. I am passing this object input to the print data method. Print data method. Here I will mention like these two are the instance variables. These two are the instance variables. So how will you give the values to the instance variables? How will you initialize the values? S dot name equal to, here I will give some name, that is the search, and okay, and s dot id, I will give some id like 505, like that I will give 505 IQ, and then s dot I will call the method right now. Hmm? No, print method is available in the driver class. We need to create the object for the driver class, and then we can invoke the you can invoke the instance method. Right now I need to create the object for driver class. Driver, I would say new equal to d driver, and then now I need to call the t dot print data, print data s, print data s, print data s, print data s. Now is throwing, the student is already defined somewhere. I need to use the student college student, and so the same name will be taken here. College student, and then you can take s here. Now I need to take the same name here also, and here also we should take College's name. Should take the college name. Control A, Control Shift F. Now I need to run the program. Need to pass here name, comma, and I would say I want to call the IDs. I want to call the IDs, I guess. S dot name plus S dot ID. S dot ID. Control A, Control Shift F, and I am from the file. So search 502 if I want some space. So I will explain. I will explain one more time. I will explain one more time. Basically, the question is in the real-time scenario, methods deals with the object only. Methods deals with the object only. Till now, we have taken the parameters as a that some numbers, integer values like that we have taken. But in the real-time scenarios, the methods deals with the objects only. Objects meaning methods input taken the input as a objects, and they will do the operations and they will return. Okay, in the real-time scenarios, methods deals with the objects only. Here the question is write the method to print the data available on the student object. So this is the student. From here to here, this is the college student, and we have two properties. One is the name, and second one is the ID. ID. So we need to create object this one. I have created the object this one. This object meaning the entire properties are stored in this reference variable. This reference variable I am passing as a input to the another method. Print data is the method. Print data method is taking the input as a object. Input as a object. And with the help of object, I am initializing the variables. I am initializing variables. Here I am printing the variables. Here I am printing the variables. In the real-time scenarios, only we can the methods deals with the this kind of objects only. Get the clarity? Should I repeat one more time? Huh? Two classes. For understanding purpose, I am taking the two classes. In the normal scenario, these class might be available in the another file. Their data you can take input to the another method. Input to the another method. Okay. Should I repeat one more time? In the methods concept, the important perspective is the in the real-time scenarios, methods deals with the objects only. Methods deals with the objects only. Object meaning object hold the entire data of the class. Object holding entire data of the class. So what I am doing, I am taking two classes. One is the college student, second one is the driver class. Driver class. Driver class. I have created object for this college student. I have created object for this college student. This object I am passing as a input to the one method. One method. Normally method what method will do? It will do the operation. So I am passing to this method, and with the help of this object, I am calling the name and I am calling the ID. I am calling the ID. For this print data is the method name. This method input is the object. In this object, we will have the data, student data. I would say object holding the student data. So from that object, I am like calling the name. I am calling the ID. I am calling the ID. I am calling the ID. Get the clarity? Get the clarity? So this is a very important concept. Like to take the one class data storing into the object, and the data as a object, we need to pass the input to the another method. Input to the another method. Okay. Input to the another method. So after this, I will have the one concept, that is the constructors. Hmm? One class? I didn't get you. One class? Two classes. How will you take in one class? Like one class contain that class reader. This is the student. This class contains student related data. We are entire data is storing into the object. That object we are passing input to the method. The data we are passing into the method. You are asking. You can take within the class also, like the entire class. You can create object, and you can create one method, and you can give the input to that method also. That is also will work, no issue. So next one, constructors. What does it mean by the constructors? In the interview perspective, they will ask what does it mean by the constructor. Why will you use the constructor? First, I will write the definition. It is used to initialize the instance variables of current class. Instance variables of current class. Current class. So that is the first point. It is the special method in Java. It is special method in Java. It is the special method in Java. First point is that it is initialize the instance variables. We will have the three types of variables. One is the instance variable, static variables, and local variable. Constructors are used to initialize the instance variables. Constructors are used to initialize the instance variables. And then the second point, it is a special method in the Java. It is a special method in Java. Okay. And then for constructors, for constructors, we shouldn't use the return type. For constructors, we shouldn't use the return type. Return type. And next point, constructor name and class name should be the same. Constructor name and class name should be the same. Class name should be same. Class name should be the same. So these are the points we need to remember. Constructors. It is a special method. It is used to initialize the instance variables of the current class. And for the constructors, we shouldn't use the return type. And constructor name and class name should be same. constructor name and class name should be same. Whenever you are creating the object, at the time the constructor will be called. I will tell. For example, you can assume the student s equal to new student. This one constructor. I will tell the programmatically, then you will get the clarity. I will take the employee and I want to print the employee data. I want to print the employee data. So normally without taking the constructor also we can uh, print the employee data. But I want to use the constructors and then I want to print the data. I want to print the data. The first rule, name, class name and constructor name should be the same. Class name and I would say class name and constructor name should be the same. Huh? That's not true. No. First thing, I would say constructor name and class name should be the same. This is the this is the similar to method type only, and employee is the class name. Constructor name is also I am taking employee. I am taking employee, and for the constructor, return type is no need, no need or return type. Okay. Now I want to like initialize the instance variables. I want to print the employee data like int name, comma, and int ID. So these are the input to this method string, and here I will take the system.out.println. Here I will take here I will take the name, and I will take the ID, and here I would say I will take the main method and I will call the Anna. Service now. Mm. Mm. Yeah, now oh, create the object. For creating the object, you need to take the main method, and under the main method, we need to create the object. Whenever we are creating the object, whenever we are creating the object, then defaultly the compiler will assign the constructor. I will show you that one. Employee e equal to new employee, and so here it is throwing the error. Why? Because we need to add the arguments. We need to add the arguments. So here I am taking the arguments like as the some search. I will take the argument search, and here I will mention the number like as 500 like that I will mention, and control save, and I will run the file. If you observe, we'll get the search and 500. This is the search and 500. This is the search. Normally, from here to here, this is the constructor. This is the constructor. So constructor will be called whenever we are creating the object. The constructor will be called. Constructor will be called. From here to here, this is the constructor. From here to here, this is the constructor. So actually, here I would say with the help of constructor, we can initialize the instance variables. Without constructor also, we can take the data and we can print the data as well. For example, I will take the normal file. For example, I will open this one. I will take one file, user file, taking new. I will take the user.java, user.java. Okay. Here I will take the main method, public class user. I would say public. So this is the one file. I am saving the file, public class user, and I am going here. I will open the command cmd and java p. I will mention the name user user.java java p. Java p user.java. User.java. Okay. So I am opening the command prompt java c. If I run the text.java, the file has compiled. Java, I would say test. Yeah, I'm coming from the constructor. So normally constructors are used to initialize the instance variables. Initialize the instance variables. It is the special method in the Java. It is the special method in the Java. And third point, you should remember in the constructor, when you are writing the constructor, we shouldn't use the return type. We shouldn't use the return type. And fourth one is constructor name and class name should be the same. Constructor name and class name should be the same. Next thing, I would say, whenever you are creating the object, whenever you are creating the object, constructor will be called. Constructor will be invoked. If you not created in the class constructor, the at the time compiler will create defaultly. Compiler will create defaultly. So that is the thing. So constructor is the like I would say, if you not created, if you're not there in the any constructor in the class, then compiler will create the constructor. That is the default constructor. If you created the any constructor, then at the time JVM not created any constructor. JVM will not created any constructor. So that is the points you should remember. Again, constructors are two types: zero param constructors and parameterized constructors. If the constructor don't have any inputs like any parameters, then we can say zero parameter constructors. If the constructors have parameters, then we can say like parameterized constructors. Constructors are two types. Constructors are two types. One is I would say zero parameterized constructor, zero parameterized constructor, and second one is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Zero parameterized constructor means, like for example, the same constructor I am taking, employee, employee. Here I will pass the, I don't pass any parameters. Then you can call this is the zero parameterized constructor. Then this is the zero parameterized constructor. If I pass parameters like employee like int id, comma, string name. So if I pass the parameters like this, then that is this one is the parameterized constructor. This one is the parameterized constructor. This one is the parameterized constructor. So if the class don't have any constructor, then compiler will defaultly compiler will provide one constructor. Compiler will provide one constructor. If you created any constructor, then the JVM, I would say compiler won't provide any constructor. Won't provide any constructor. Won't provide any constructor. So, got the clarity about the constructors. Got the clarity, constructors. Okay. I will stop the live and I will start again, and I will start the